Hello, and welcome back, YouTube, for our second edition of the Game of the Week. I'm really excited to get back at this. I really enjoyed doing it last week. I've enjoyed the process of getting stuff uploaded for you, and I think I got it streamlined real nice. Every week, you're going to get 3 or 4 episodes a day with a new episode. Lots of fun runs. Last week, we did Brazil. This week, we are being Hojo of Japan, and I'm very excited for it. Thank you for being here. Sit back, enjoy. One of the reasons I chose Japan for this particular run was I felt like it was a good contrast to the run with Brazil last week. Last week we focused specifically on the great people and all the synergies we could put together for that, and I felt like some of the choices we made slowed us down a little bit. It ended up being a relatively quick run overall because we were able to accelerate at the end with massive bonuses, which was the whole plan of the run. But one of the big things that we did was we were slow. We settled the second city as that as the Petra city, and it didn't follow through, so that kind of sucked. And we didn't start making a lot of our settlers till after turn 50 because we had spent so much time getting the Oracle done, which was part of our plan as well. So that kind of slowed us down. So in this run, a big part of what we want to get done here is get the cities down as fast as possible and get the districts down as fast as possible. I preach this a lot to folks in chat when I'm talking about strategies. The earlier you get stuff done, the better, and I want to emphasize that in our second video in order to make you guys understand the differences between being slow early game and fast early game. So let's take a quick look here at Japan. The Meiji Restoration, I'm not sure if that's, maybe it's Meiji. I'm not really sure about Japanese pronunciation. I apologize for anyone out there who may be offended by it. All districts receive an additional standard adjacency bonus for being adjacent to another district. Incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. We're going to have all kinds of different ways to help take advantage of this and have really strong adjacency bonus. Similar to strong adjacency bonuses in our last game, which were very strong, but in this case we're going to want to cram all the districts together versus in the previous game where we actually preferred to have the districts kind of separated, surrounded by jungle as much as we could. So that's extremely important. The divine winds, the extra combat strength adjacent to coastal tiles enable industry plus less combat strength in shallow water tiles. Not particularly strong for us trying to play peaceful, which we'll be doing. But builds encampments, holy sites, theater squares, in half the time. So we probably won't build any encampments or holy sites. We're going to get all of the faith that we want, hopefully, from a Pantheon. So primarily it's just going to be a cheaper theater square, which is nice. It's always nice to have a cheaper district to build. I mean, it's not impossible that we could build 1 or 2 of these later game if we have high population cities, just to give adjacencies to other districts. So it's not impossible that we could do that. But oh yes, I just want to take a quick look. The samurai, just a unique unit. Suffers combat bonuses when, or does not suffer combat bonuses when damaged, which is really nice, and upgrades into the musketman. So it's a pretty solid unit, even though you can't pre-build it. I'm not a big fan of units you can't pre-build, but it's relatively early on. It's good for 4-year score. Nice. So that's about it. The biggest one is going to be the adjacency bonuses and also the cheap theater squares. I suppose is probably the biggest two. I have gone ahead and found ourselves a good start, just to make sure that we weren't wasting a whole lot of time playing Restart Simulator again. And we finally found one. We're going to have a 2-2 city centers, as you can see here, and we're going to have culture right out of the gate. And we've got some nice 2-2 tiles in the area. Just for those of you tuning in who may be not used to my streams, my strategies, the way I choose to settle cities, having a 2-2 city center is great. Not required, but I love it. But you want to have a number of good tiles that you know you'll be able to work in your first 2 rings. You don't want to ever be wasting time having your citizens work tiles that have less than 4 yield of food and production. So 2-2, 2-2, 2-2, 2-2. Another 2-2 out here. Plus there's some hills and stuff that we'll be able to exploit. And there's also some really nice growth tiles out here. We'll be able to do a nice farming triangle there, for instance. And we also have out here, I noticed just before we started streaming, started recording, that we have, looks like Kilimanjaro's going to be right there, because we have extra 2 food on a couple tiles that wouldn't normally have them. So extremely fortunate there. So we have some good tiles out there, but like I said, just having at least 4 or 5 really good tiles so that when your population grows quickly, early game, everyone's going to be working good tiles, and you're not going to be wasting your time on bad tiles. So that's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and grab this 2-2 tile. 1-3 out here is not bad. These aren't great, but again, they're hills. We'll be able to put mines on them. We'll have lots of production. So when you combine the amazing growth out here with high growth tiles, and then combine, like, you know, these would be 1-3, 1-4 tiles down the road, those are extremely strong as well. Strategy for moving. I think I'm going to jump real quick onto this hill and check out what's going on with this river. There's a little bit of faith, and another one of those beautiful tiles that actually will be in the city center's, this city's range. Although we'll hopefully get a city down here that can actually take advantage of that, in addition to that faith. I'm not a big fan of seeing the jungle. I kind of wanted to avoid the jungle after last week's game of the week. But it is what it is. It doesn't look like we're going to have too much jungle, so hopefully that doesn't turn into a massive one. Technology, certainly we're going to want to go mining right away, because we do have that early quick luxury that we'll be able to grab. And I don't see any need for animal husbandry, obviously, so that's not going to be needed. If anything, we might skip that and go to irrigation, possibly for a second luxury, or to clear marsh, something like that. We'll have to see. And then production, we are, like, last game we went scout. I do try to go warrior as much as I possibly can. People go scout most of the time. I like warrior. I don't know why. I just do. I am going to discover a natural wonder, which is going to give me a bonus to a scout. So maybe I could go scout and then pump a turn or 2 into a builder or the monument until it's time to start a settler. Maybe I will do that. Maybe that's, we're going to make that a theme on the game of the week. We're going to go scout first. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We'll go scout first and see how it treats us. All right. Let's keep going. Next turn. Step on a hill again. There's a goody hut. Oops. Okay. Yeah, now have my scout go and discover the natural wonder for the experience and that kind of thing. I think I'll cross straight over and grab that goody hut. I don't mind a little bit of flat land. I don't want too much of it, because we're gonna need to cram a bunch of districts together. I am not seeing a great spot for a city in here. On this river, pretty flat land. No place to really put. I guess I could go really close and there. I don't know. Grab that tile immediately on a second city right there. That's another thing too. Some gold, a bunch of stone to help with the growth, or with production quickly, I should say. Another thing to keep in mind with Japan is it is actually kind of good to keep your cities actually really tight, because you're going to want to have the districts from adjacent cities kind of like in triangles. So like you have like just massive conglomerates of districts, where you've got districts in the middle that are literally surrounded completely by other districts, which are just going to give you massive adjacency bonuses. Sometimes it's okay, like with only minor adjacency bonuses, to get 2 or 3 in a triangle, and that's fine. But to have really big groups of districts crammed together in cities is fantastic with Japan. So we got some early gold, which is nice. We don't really have a need to buy a tile though, so that's not a thing. I think we'll just keep moving down this river, maybe. Maybe we're getting a little bit further away. Maybe head up that river and then have The skit will go that way. See, because we got this river here. I want to be able to kind of take this area out, maybe. So here we go. We've gotten our 5 turns to go. We are two turns away from being able to start a settler with population of 2. So we can put either a couple turns into the monument or a couple turns into a builder. I kind of want to put a couple turns into a builder because we do have that early culture already. We're not going to wait too long on the monument, but we have some nice tiles that we'll be able to quickly improve with the builder. So I'm going to put 2 turns into a builder. Wait, and I'm going to here.
As it turns out,
and get this
Mount
discovery.
Kilimanjaro is not Wi-Fi enabled, so I had to spend 2 weeks in Tanzania talking to the people on my trip.
So out of the gate, those are 2 really nice tiles that'll actually be usable by the city. 4-1's solid. Can't complain too much. I don't know. Be a debate. 3-2 or a 4-1. I think I prefer a 3-2 just because it's got the balance. Even though I guess when you mine that, it's going to become a 4-2, a 4-3, eventually a 4-4. So long down the road. So, yeah, that's interesting. I guess it's an interesting debate you could have about what's better there. But I think I prefer probably the extra growth. Maybe step on this hill. There's another goody hut. Jeez. 2 turns. We'll go next. Got 1 turn on growth here. You'll notice also we are at turn 7 and we're about to finish Code of Laws because of that extra culture. Unbelievably powerful to have that. Nice 3-2 tile and the river. A lot of flat. Well, no, there's some hills here. I guess I was gonna say a lot. It's a fair amount of flat land, but there's some hills spattered in there, so it's not too bad. Step up there. There's a straight 5. Some more faith on that dies. Do we have dies down here too, right? Yeah, dies. So just a straight 5 food. Basically like a sugar tile that you can't work. Next turn we can start the settler. Be nice to work a couple of tiles. Alright, so we're going to switch to a settler. It's going to be a 10-turn settler. We are working a pair of 2-2s. In 11 turns of growth. Is that right? Okay. So, yeah. Really? 11 turns still growth? Okay. So, yeah, we'll just have to go straight to 10. Boom. We just got the promotion for irrigation. Of course, every time that you've got a farm to, a resource to farm, you're inevitably going to get the tech boost for irrigation from a. Oh, look at that 5-2 tile. You're inevitably going to get the tech boost to irrigation anytime you've got the farm to resource. Now, if you don't have a farm to resource, I guarantee you won't get irrigation. It's like those ones where the turn before you meet another civilization, you get the tech boost for education, or for whatever you call it. Education? No, it's not education. Writing. Jesus. Education. No, it wasn't a legendary start, Handu. No. I think only legendary starts considered when they have it, when the actual wonders inside your tile, inside your land. Yeah, just super incredibly lucky. I did do. It was fun doing that legendary start last week with the US. Really fun doing that one with the US last week. For those of you on YouTube wondering, after we did the game of the week last week, our second playthrough last week was achievement hunting, and it's actually on the video on demands here on Twitch, twitch.tv/normulator, by the way. Come say hello. We did a really fun run, no campuses, culture victory run with the US, and we got the pizza party achievement, which was a lot of fun. Nicolenium, how are you? I feel legendary starts would be underwhelming for Japan since you don't want too much things messing with districts. Yeah, well, legendary starts is primarily just about the having a wonder in your starting city, right? Whereas the big thing you don't want is extra resources. You don't want to go with abundant resources because you're gonna. I've got a fair amount of luxuries that are kind of, I think, maybe going to be in the way a little bit. Luxury resources and strategic resources can really be annoying when you're trying to put together those crazy adjacencies. So, but yeah, that's a good point. Having things in your way with your adjacencies can suck, for sure. Ooh, talk about. Wow. You want to talk about a whole bunch of culture. That's huge. That is huge. In addition to the culture, we're already going to be working to get another culture. Let me go there. There. I think I might. Well, I hate to slow down, but I kind of want to see what's going on there. I might step on that hill to see what's going on here before I move on. For your second city, would you settle? Would you be setting on the dies? Be a good move. On these dies right here. Yeah, I would say almost definitely those dies are going to get settled on. Almost definitely, I'm going to be settling on those dies. But I don't know if it'll be my second city or not. It might depend because this river. I think there's probably a better chance I would settle on this river, and maybe pick up this 3-2 and this 5-2 sooner. I don't know. We'll have to see what this river does. This. This particular. The information I learn here will be very determinant upon our second city. Absolutely. Okay. But certainly a city on either side of this is going to be a thing. Absolutely. Alright, time to change policies on turn 10. How fabulous is that? We're going to go ahead and grab our faith from God King in order to help us push out another... to get to our Pantheon. Always good to get our Pantheon right away. Make sure we get the one we like. Then we can always switch out to production. And then, of course, discipline for when we run into barbs. Survey is a little bit more possible because we are going scout first, but I think I'm just going to live without it. Okay. It looks like that river might end there. So it kind of swings in here, maybe. So there might be somewhere in here a good spot for the city. Possibly right there. I think I'll just do that with the scout. I'll just send him up. I'm going to continue to move along in this direction. Along this mountain range. And then let the scout figure out what's going on there. Oh, we got some coast here. I was hoping that might be a... We could take another crack at the old Petra City, but it doesn't look too much. Between this coast and that, I think I might actually head south here. And then go see what's going on with these rivers as these converge. See what we're learning down here. So what are the adjacencies for districts? Are the improvements for the luxury resource? What? Sorry. The adjacencies for districts is, so the more districts you have adjacent to one another, they get bonuses off of each other. Now, normally with the normal civilization, you get a half of an adjacency. So for every 2 adjacent districts, you get a bonus of 1 adjacency. Whereas with Japan, you get a bonus of a standard adjacency. So having districts next to one another is extremely important. So the luxuries can just get in the way. So for instance, if I wanted to put a bunch of districts, like let's say I put a city right here, up in here, and I have this city here, I'm going to want to put like all of this city's districts crammed in here, and not all this city's districts crammed in this area, so that they can all just kind of help group each other up, right, with one another to gain more adjacencies. This orange is going to be smack dab in the middle, and you can't build a district on a luxury resource, or a strategic resource for that matter. So that particular orange is probably going to get in the way if I chose that. Now, depending on what we learn, you know, I might do the city down here eventually, and you know, again, these 2 ambers are going to be in the way of doing districts this way. If I were to go north and put a city here, right on top of the luxury. The reason why you put cities on top of luxuries or strategic resources, well, mostly luxuries, is just so that they don't get in the way. Because if I was to settle beside that luxury resource, immediately I'm eliminating this tile as a potential tile to build districts in. And also, you know, when you think about it, I'll build here, but I'm going to want the districts over here more, because I'm not going to want to put a district on any of these tiles, because these tiles are extremely powerful. By the time I put mines on these tiles here, and maybe a farming district up here, these are going to be unbelievably powerful tiles. You're not going to want to cover those up. So does that answer the question? Hopefully that is straightforward enough. We're going to go right to foreign trade. Because of the accelerated culture that we have, it's going to be hard to get some of the boosts, because we're going to push through stuff so fast, but, you know, a problem to have, right? All right, perfect. Glad to answer. So we are at 8 turns to go. You just bought it yesterday, you're trying to figure them out. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Japan is a little bit different, or significantly different, really. Ooh, Stockholm, and possibly first meet, hopefully on that'd be extra cash as well. So first meet on Stockholm. Stockholm will be really advantageous. They are a very good civilization to have as a suzerain. Your districts with buildings provide extra great people points of their type. So that's an extra great scientist point for every district, or for every campus. An extra great merchant for every commercial district, and so on. So that's fabulous. Great to have that. Plus the early science is going to also boost our early science, because we got the immediate +2 science in the capital. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to step on this hill here and hopefully create a direct path. Now, let me explain this really quickly. If at some point Stockholm asks for a trade route, you've got to actually have vision. So if I don't get the vision now, I might not get it for a while. So if I step here, there's a chance I'll be able to see this tile. Because if as long as there's no trees or anything on this tile, which it doesn't look like there is going to be, then I'll be able to see straight through. If I were to step on this tile, the trees on this hill would keep me from being able to see this tile. I would be able to see this tile, but I wouldn't have a direct path. And you can't send a trade route somewhere unless you can have a direct line of vision without anything that you haven't discovered. So it's going to take me a little of the ways, but I am going to step on this tile. And there you go. So, and looks like there might be a pathway through here as well, so that could be advantageous as well. So we've got that path, and then we'll go up and meet. I'll be able to get to this tile next turn, so I should be able to meet them next turn still, so that won't be a problem. And also, 1, 2, 3. There's actually, I'm not going to get into too much. I'll try to make video 2 where I start to do some discussion of placements, but that's actually room for a city there. I can actually put a city here on a river, 2/2 tile. I'll be able to get these tiles, lots of hills, and well, there's a luxury out there, the sulks, and then the 2/2 deer. So that's actually not bad for proximity, because this is probably going to be tough as well. There might be some more coasts, so interesting stuff. Anyway, technology, we are going to be pounding through these relatively quickly now with that extra science in the capital. 5 turns only on the husbandry. Actually, I'm going to go pottery, just because I don't have a need for animal husbandry right now. Might be alright to go to irrigation. Wouldn't be too bad. Civ 6 for 24 and Rise and Fall for 23. Yeah. Yeah, it's 70% off, I think, is it? For 70% off Civ 6, and then the Rise and Fall is 25% off. Goody Hut. Goody Hut, goody. Oh, is it 60% off Civ 6? Okay, sorry, my bad. Was it 70% off earlier? I thought it was 70 for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Beautiful. So that's political philosophy. We're having at 3 city-states. So extra gold, extra culture, and extra science in our capital. That's an amazing start. don't underestimate how important that is in the early game to have those early meets. You can have all the amazing land in the world and expand quickly. If you don't get meets early on, and first meets in particular, it can make a big difference in the game if you're not getting the advantages of having city-states around. So don't underestimate that. Whoa. Sandals. I mean, the faith would be alright. The tourism doesn't really mean a whole lot to us. We could actually potentially even trade those away for something major later on. Something to consider. We'll take the faith. Unfortunately, we got it one turn too late because I could have just turned off the faith card and not gone with it, because we're going to get a Pantheon extremely quick from that now. But at least in 6 turns, we'll be able to turn that card off, no problem. Hate to turn my nose up at a relic, but okay, Harold. He's not gonna like us because we're not gonna have Sheps, so you know he's gonna hate us. We are not gonna tell him where we live. There's another first meet on Kumasi. Is that Kumasi there? Oh, it must be somebody saw us. Wow. More culture in the capital. Disgusting. Now, the Norwegians have actually come found us, so they're going to be sitting somewhere up here. So, little trick. We showed you this last week on the YouTube, and we're going to just take a quick look again. Loyalty lens. Okay, we cannot see what's going on there. You can see that we obviously put pressure on there, and they're not getting any. So there's nobody putting pressure on any of these cities. So somewhere up in here is going to be Harold, I would imagine. 13 turns coming from this direction. He's going to be up here somewhere. Hopefully not too close. You're right. He already does know where I live. You're right. I didn't even, when I did that, I didn't even see where he was. He could have been further. Oh, I knew he could have been up there somewhere. I didn't see him actually right next to the city until now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and send a delegation to him right away. First turn, always send the delegation. It isn't always going to help you that much. His first impression was a -6, so that's not great. We can't currently yet do free open trade, or open whatever you call it, open borders, which would have been another bonus. But it might, you know, it might be enough to just keep him from getting immediately denouncing us, which would be good. Hey Tifer, what's up? Okay, with this guy, I want to kind of make sure I learn this area here. I don't want to run off too far. I'm going to get to here, step on this, find out what's going on with this river, and then maybe follow the river up. You just clean the windows and put screens in. Feel the breeze, baby. No, unfortunately, this guy got in my way, so I can't step back. Doesn't really matter, though. I guess we'll clear this out to see what's going on, then we'll head that way, maybe. Just to kind of clear this out, and then I would say we're pretty safe in here. This is coast. I'm guessing the coast is going to come up here somewhere, and I can't imagine there's if there was a civilization in here. We're playing continents, by the way. If there's a civilization in here, they'd already be putting influence on these two when we looked at the loyalty lens, and then we would have met them already too, so we'll discover that before long. Let's keep going. Get all the way to the river so we can cross. Without the bugs, yeah. It's always nice to have no bugs. Let's like that. Cross the river, see what's going on. There's another river here, so. Lisbon, Stockholm. What do these guys want us to do, by the way? It's always good to keep an eye on that. Galley, Archer, inspiration for early empire, that shouldn't be a problem. And construct an encampment. That will probably not happen. Shoot. Oh, okay, there's a goody hut. Let's cross the river. Now, if we take a quick look at the settler lens, we might be able to see any influence coming from him. Actually, we can see... Oh, wow, that's a lot closer than I was hoping. Okay, well, we'll be able to put a city here, no problem. You can see their influence coming in there. I'm not seeing any influence down here, so there's no way that's their capital. Because if that was their capital, they'd be putting influence down in here more, because the capital gives more influence input. So, city here, and we might be kind of stuck. I don't know if we'll get another city up here now. It's not likely. So, but anyway, one here and one there would be okay. We can fill in this area and hopefully have some space out here. I was hoping to maybe get to 10 or 12 cities on a science run. The more cities, the better, right? More cities means more campus districts. More campus districts means more science. More population means more science. Means more.
I thought Clay must feel happy in the good.
It also means more great people points as well.
That's the
for scientists.
Aspect of
So we can turn this off for sure, and let's get on urban planning. And we don't need that. Good to go. We haven't seen a barbarian yet, have we? Did I just jinx myself by saying that? Yeah, there's the borders of that city there. Oh, speaking of which, there's a barbarian. He's gonna step there next turn and find me. I'll try and block him. Okay. Gotta figure out where to go with next with the scout. I kind of want to go up north and explore this because I feel like the goody huts and stuff will be all mine for the taking up to the north there. Check out our technology. We could grab animal husbandry. We don't really need it. Grabbing writing right now wouldn't be a bad idea because we could just to have the availability to plop down our campus when we do talk about districts. Just getting it plopped down as early as possible will reduce the price. So if we can find a place we want to plop our first campus, so it happens to be a spot where we don't have to clear out a tile, it'll be fantastic. Early Empire. Now, we need to get to pop 6. We got to be careful here because I would like to be able to click some of the Eurekas for this. Grab a worker to get the 3 improved tiles. I don't know if we'll get to pop 10. Sorry, pop 6 for all cities in the next 10 turns. So we might want to just pump 6 turns into that and then grab craftsmanship and try to negotiate our way around here without finishing stuff off. I'm using 2 mods. I'm using that mod there, and I'm also using the new mod that permits you to... Oh, Christ, there's a slinger. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to head north and let him hopefully deal with that slinger. I also have a... the new mod that gives city-states walls. Oh, there you go. Progress towards early empires increased. So don't need to worry about it anymore. We've already got it. I think I'll just cut right through here and see what's going on there. So those are the 2. Oh. He's in the desert. And a big desert it is. Okay. Pantheon, we want... It's gone on turn 18. Oh my god. And everyone shows Petra. That is not good. The Goddess of the Harvest. I've never seen it gone that fast. I thought I might be the first person to get a... I got a relic like turn 6. Oh my god, that was going to give us the faith we wanted for Monumentality Golden Age. Yeah, Guitarja often takes it. There's a few that take it, but I rarely see this gone. Oh. I'm not seeing anything for Pastures, so there's no point in Pastures. Oral Tradition. You know, there's not enough culture out of that. I'm already getting early culture anyway. Oh man, this is what to do now. There's not really a lot of options. I mean, it's really Divine Spark. And I don't want Divine Spark, but I really don't have any choice. It's not really what I want at all. Because there's no other good ones. Whew. Well, well, well. Divine Spark it is, ladies and gentlemen. For the second game in the week in a row. Boom, boom, boom. I'll crank out that builder real quick. I'm gonna head that way. I was wanting to take Goddess of the Harvest to get Faith for chops. So like Faith equivalent to whatever you get from harvesting any land. So you harvest, you know, rainforest, trees, marsh, anything you harvest, you get double. And that, you know, that gives you, it's really overpoweringly strong, and it gives you all kinds of faith. It allows you to have the faith required to have really successful monumentality runs on your golden ages. So we're gonna be looking at, there's a 2/2 tile there, but that's a little bit far away. I'm hoping for a really good tile there. That would be nice if there was a 2/2 there. Sucks. The river here and see what's going on there. All right, that puts us 19 turns in. on our very first video of the second ever Game of the Week. We are Hojo of Japan, and I hope you're enjoying. Don't forget to leave your comments down below and hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying. I'm really enjoying putting together this content for YouTube. Long time coming. Thanks for joining me, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.